Hello everyone, my name is Deniz Aktaş. I'm from American College Institute and today I will interview with Jale Onur. Hello Jale Hanım, how are you?
Hello, Deniz. Thank you. I'm fine. You?
I am fine too, Jale Hanım. So Jale Hanım, as you know, today is the IB Day. IB representatives from all around the world have come to Kültür University to celebrate IB Day. So I have a couple of questions to ask you about the history of IB in Turkey. Shall we begin?
Of course.
Okay. The first question is Jale Hanım. So Jale Hanım, as this is the 25th year of IB in Turkey, and you were in the team that first started IB in Turkey. So can you tell us the story of initiation of the first international baccalaureate diploma program in Turkey? And what was the inspiration behind it?
Okay. I was at the coach school.
Mhm.
It was back 25 years ago.
Yes.
There were very few private schools. Your school is a very old one. Some foreign schools like Robert College and a few, but Turkish. There were very few. The Koç Foundation started our school to be a model school for the Turkish private schools. And after it was started in 1988, and after a few years, our second headmaster was Jerry Shields, a man who came from an IB school in Brussels. And he told us about the IB program. And he, I think, persuaded the board and the coach family
Mhm.
about bringing it to Turkey. And because the Minister of Education kind of looked at our school as a laboratory school then,
Mhm.
this was decided, to start and bring this international program of high standards to Turkey. So it was kind of a pilot, a trial thing. And
Mhm.
1992, we started learning about it. So we brought in people from the IB who told us about it, and we started learning. For 1 year, we learned about it. So actually, this was how it was started. The initiation, the inspiration was. It started like this.
Yes. So thank you to your headmaster then.
Yes, it was like that, and then from there, of course, our then the Turkish headmaster Atakan Demirseren,
Mhm.
late Atakan Demirseren, went and told about it to the ministry, and we started. But there was one thing. Uh, at that time, there was credit system in Turkey.
Credit system. Oh.
Did you hear about that?
No, I have not.
There was something called the credit system.
Mhm.
It was much flexible, much more flexible than what we had.
Mhm.
We had that for 3, 4 years in Turkey, and for some reasons, it didn't fit the general schools because of the flexibility. It gave too much free
Mhm.
time to the students. So they decided to go back on the old system. But
Mhm.
when we were bringing it, we kind of counted on that flexibility.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So the next question is, what kind of difficulties did you face when introducing the IB program to the officials of the Ministry of Education and or to your colleagues in Turkey? Did you have any hesitations along the way?
Actually, I was quite enthusiastic about it. When I first heard about the TOK. I was an English teacher myself, but when I heard about the TOK course, Theory of Knowledge,
Yes.
I thought, oh, I have to teach this course. It's so,
Really?
I felt like that,
Uh,
I was kind of really influenced by it. So I think all the way I was quite motivated. As
mhm.
I told you, we started it with credit system. So
Yes.
it was at the beginning, it was easy. But
Mhm,
after 3, 4 years, when they stopped it, began the challenge began.
mm,
Okay, about how to, you know, uh, match the ministry, the national program, and that.
exactly.
And another difficulty at the beginning, because we were the only school, then able school started. We were two schools, not many schools were doing. Ministry didn't really care much, I think, about that. But then more and more schools started coming in. They then said, "Wait a minute, tell us and translate all these things to us." It was my, I don't know, unluckiness, because then by that time I had become the uh, headmistress,
Oh,
the senior Turkish administrator. So I was the one who had to go and explain all of it over and over.
yes.
Course, I also got the help from my other colleagues, try to make a teamwork.
Mhm,
So in a way, it was good, but it was difficult
mhm.
in those initial phases, explaining all of them, translating the materials, and getting the, you know, okay.
Yes.
That was.
Actually,
Mhm.
yeah, please go.
And you also had asked about the colleagues in the school.
Uh-huh.
I think there were two kinds of people.
Mhm,
One, the teachers who were like me, enthusiastic,
mhm.
hear about it, they want to do it.
Yes,
And then there are some who, like anybody, who are a bit afraid of what they have not been taught,
of course,
what
yes.
they have not been trained about, and so forth. So, and what is this new thing so there are those kinds of things. But I always believed that it really brought a lot of energy in
Mhm.
the learning something new, learning together.
Exactly.
That was, I think, in spite of the difficulties, that was quite energizing.
Yes, and I have to admit, Jale Hanım, I know IB is a very persevering program, but it makes me strong. I have to admit this.
Good. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so
Yes.
happy. Yes. And I think
Mhm.
in Turkey, one of the biggest difficulties is that ministry does not recognize it as equivalent to
Yes,
the
yes,
national program. So you have to do two programs together. And
yes.
that adds a little extra.
Mhm.
But any student who overcomes this challenge,
Yes.
and you are able to,
Mhm.
I think those students later at the university and in life, they they really become strong.
Yes.
So I'm glad you already are saying this, because usually they say it afterwards.
Okay, I am lucky then.
While during while they're student, they are always, angry at their
Yes.
teachers, administrators. But afterwards, they come to thank, and they're very successful. And
Mhm.
that's what motivates us. We know it'll be like that. You'll be strong. That's really
Exactly.
good.
Yes. So my third question is, so IB program helps students to conceive the world from different perspectives and lead them to evaluate real life situations based on facts and proofs. However, unfortunately in Turkey, only three state schools offer the IB program. So how can their numbers be increased?
Now, I want to say something.
Mm-hmm.
The IB program is total, like it is an elite program,
Yeah.
uh, which isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the world, more than half of the schools are uh, state schools. What,
Yeah.
how is this? Those governments, those ministries kind of support them.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, in IB, there is a little bit of a cost.
Mm-hmm.
And this cost, well, at the beginning, to increase the number of state schools,
Mm-hmm.
I also approached the IB officials and asked for, can you give us some fee waiver for the state schools?
Mm-hmm.
You know, is it possible that those attend the professional developments free of charge?
Yes.
But because they are dealing with the whole world, and there are many countries that are probably in even worse situations in economically,
Mm-hmm.
they cannot do it, but they tell us to look for sponsorships. Now, there are two things. One, for example, now a new state school, Vefa High School,
Mm-hmm.
Vefa Anadolu School, is now a candidate school, and I hope they'll be an IB school soon. And their parents' association is supporting this. They
Mm.
have found some support from that parents' association. Maybe another school can find support from a bank or something, a sponsorship.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing that our ministry or our government can do,
Mm-hmm.
like the Spain, for example,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the ministry is supporting. How? The first thing is they are recognizing it as equal. Okay? If
Mm-hmm.
they give the equivalency, it will be more realistic
Mm-hmm.
and more people then can look for sponsorships and go for it, I think.
Yes.
Second thing can be the ministry, because some teachers and administrators have to learn about it, have to have the expertise.
Yeah.
And when they learn, they should not be transferred to another school right in the middle the program.
Yes.
I mean, for example, it's a 2-year program, the diploma program.
Mm-hmm.
After the first year, if that teacher is sent to another school, and if a new teacher comes in who doesn't know anything,
Oh.
that really will harm the
Yes.
student, isn't it? So
Mm-hmm.
when assigning the teachers,
Mm-hmm.
they need to assign to these schools teachers with better language
Mm-hmm.
skills, like those who know English, and
Mm-hmm.
they keep them there so that they accumulate the knowledge,
Yes.
the
Yes.
experience. I think if these are done, more schools can come up.
Mm-hmm. So government plays a huge role in this.
Yes.
Yes, in spreading the IB
Uh-huh.
programs.
In some countries, they
Mm.
have done that. Some
Okay.
government. Mhm.
Exactly. So, the third, fourth question is, can IB program be applied in state schools as successfully as in private schools? Like, as in the case of like my school, for instance, like Coach, your school, for instance.
Yeah. Is language.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, uh, if the school has a good language program,
Mm-hmm.
Anatolian schools
Mm-hmm.
that have a prep year,
Yes.
those schools, uh, there's no reason for them not to do
Mm-hmm.
this, including what I have already told you. If
Mm-hmm.
the government gives teachers appoints teachers with English,
Exactly.
and the students, because some of the classes are, in English,
Mm-hmm.
there those and that will be also really pushing those schools to be better in English.
Mm-hmm.
We see that it can be done. There are those a few schools that they are doing it. So why not?
Exactly. So, just to give an example of like what you have said, I myself come from Kırşehir, a small city. It's located near Ankara. Like we have to really increase, and also we need to give our students, like primary and secondary school students, a better English language, like a better learning. Because when I came to American College Institute, like I did not know English.
Yeah.
So, as you said, language is the most important thing.
Yes. That's the thing. That's the motivation. And
Mhm.
some of the Anatolian high schools are
Uh-huh.
quite good at it.
Yes,
Bringing this program in will be an extra motivation.
totally agree with you.
Mhm.
Mhm. In Turkey, the IB program has a presence of 25 years. Considering this 25 years time period, what is your general opinion about Turkey's IB program implementation?
Yeah, it's been quite a long time.
Yes.
25 years. And we started with one school.
Mm-hmm.
Now, uh, because I'm also the ambassador of IB, I know some of
Yes.
the numbers maybe better than other people,
Mm-hmm.
but we have about 70 schools uh, fully accredited now, and the number is going to be about 100 in the near future with the interested schools.
Mm-hmm.
So in 25 years, uh,
Yes.
we see an increase in the number of schools, in
Mm-hmm.
the number of graduates, and of course then the teachers, and now this we are also seeing that more uh, IB leaders, the school leadership is also
Mm-hmm.
becoming more knowledgeable.
Yeah.
IB is giving importance to this. They are, when you start a new program now, they've started asking for the leaders to, get the workshops and professional development.
Mm-hmm.
So this, I think, will really speed up the development and the quality of the programs.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we have come a long way, and our national programs also, it has become a model to them. They are also developing in a similar way.
Mm-hmm.
IB is also affecting the development of the national program.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, doing it together is also becoming easier.
Mm-hmm.
The university exams now, the
Yes.
type of questions are changing,
Yes.
and they are becoming more IB like, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
There is this beautiful affecting each other,
Mm-hmm.
and it is also, I believe, it will be easier to implement the IB programs now.
Yes. Important question is why IB? What distinguishes IB programs from other international educational curricula or countries' national curricula?
Yeah, why IB? Good.
Yes, why
Yeah, very
IB?
good. This is a very good question.
Yes.
One, we already said that, you know, English,
Uh-huh.
or one of the, languages it is taught in. For us, it is English.
Mm-hmm.
So, uh, in a globalized world, in
Mm-hmm.
a nationalized world, the people need better language skills. That's
Yes.
one thing. The second thing, the IB is really holistic.
Mm-hmm.
What it is different from some other. I don't want to name a program,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yes.
in some, you can take one, two, or maybe three courses.
I understand. Yes.
Two of them may be advanced,
Mm-hmm.
but they are not holistic.
Mm-hmm.
IB, there is a balance. They want to make sure that you take from the six different areas. If
Yes.
and a person's foundation is balanced. For
Mm-hmm.
example, I criticize the concept of science schools, social science schools.
Yes.
It it's able at that age. I think it maybe doesn't give enough or neglect some part.
Mm-hmm.
But in IB, you have to do a little bit of math,
Yes.
do a little bit of science, even if you are a very social science minded person, literature, or vice versa. If you're a very science math person, you still have to speak, you have to express yourself.
Yes.
So there is a balance.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing, the interdisciplinarity. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
it always compares and kind of cooperates with the others. For example, within the science courses, within the others, and this is real life. In life, it is not compartmentalized, and
Yes.
it is making you realize this connectedness.
Mm-hmm.
21st century, this is a very important skill. And the other thing is the values. You know, the uh, learner profile.
Mm-hmm. Ah, yes.
The learner profile is values,
Yes.
isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And it gives a common perspective of what it means to be respectful,
Mm-hmm.
what it means to be ethical,
Yes.
or the importance given to ethics by the academic honesty,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Nice.
the emphasis given. So I think this also the core the core of the IB is very special. The theory
Mm-hmm.
of knowledge, making you think, okay,
Yes.
making you think through questions.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is missing in the other programs. They are
Yes.
compartmentalized.
Mm-hmm.
They can be rigorous in one area.
Mm-hmm.
IB, there is a holistic look, a balanced program. I think this is really the strength of IB.
Yes, yes. When I see IB differently, now I see IB differently because, as you said, Jalen, like we are not so specialized in just one like department, as you said.
Yeah.
I want to be an economist.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, I mean, my department is more like social studies, but I also have to learn mathematics. I also have to learn a little bit of science. So without science, how can an economist be so successful in life?
Yeah.
I
And
definitely agree.
later on in university, you can then specialize further and further.
Yes,
But now, first, you have to, get a little bit of the balance. Mhm.
broaden the perspective.
Yes.
Hmm. And so we know that there is a school-based subject, Turkey in the 20th century, TITC, which you implemented into the IB program. What is the story behind it? And also, I am one of the students who take this course.
Do you like it?
Yes, I like it.
Good.
Now we have, so sorry. Now we have finished Industrial Revolution, and now